The man of the hour is almost upon us. Toshiro HITSUGAYA will be releasing on Friday. Well, not this, yeah, next Friday basically. The Friday that's coming, that is. There will be a live stream. The developers are going to be doing a live stream, and we are eager to see, because the live stream itself, I'm not going to lie, I don't really care about Toshiro being shown, because I mean, I've already used him and we know about him. We're actually going to go over his full kit so you guys can get an idea on how he's working, because for the most part, they won't change his. I mean, well, they can change his kit if they choose to, but if they do change it, I don't think it's going to be anything too major. So technically speaking, we can actually go ahead of time and look into his kit. What I'm eager to see is what more is going to be announced in terms of roadmap, lineup, who's next, all that good stuff. So here it is. Honestly, I had to double check. I was like, wait, 30th? That's tomorrow. So yeah, the live stream is going to be happening tomorrow. I will be covering it as per usual, and yeah, we'll check it out, see what's going on. But like I said, shout out to the well, this is one thing I love about Bleach right now, is that every community from all over the world are really doing their. I got nothing but love right now. This is awesome. But we got HITSUGAYA's full kit, so I want to go through it. I understand that probably you guys want to go through it too, so you guys can get an understanding on whether or not if you want to pull for him, all that good stuff. So let's just, I guess we could just dive straight on in. So we'll do, yeah, start with the dupe. So his first dupe, upon entering the Bunkai state, you immediately gain ice crystals, and Toshiro's damage gets an increase of 20%. So if I can remember correctly, ice crystals, he will do 6% per ice crystals, like more damage basically. So immediately, that's an 18%, just straight off the bat. So that's, yeah, I mean, straight off the bat, dupe 1 is pretty solid for increased damage, can't go wrong with that. Each time a technique or a counter attack is used, the critical rate increases by 16% for 8 seconds. This effect can stack up to 2 times. That's again very easy to do, especially in the Bunkai state. You can pretty much immediately get the full amount of the critical rate increase within a singular rotation of attacks, basically. Yeah, so because again, you've got to keep in mind his counter attack is also connected to the build up on his Bunkai. So when you're spamming, your ice crystals in the bottom will build up, and then that will immediately make it so that your counter attack is usable manually. You don't have to kind of wait for the enemy to activate the counter attack. Yeah, so dupe 3 as per usual, we get our levels. Damage inflicted by technique increases by 130. Yeah, okay, I didn't realize dupe 4 was, okay, that's interesting. And yeah, dupe 5 again, +2 on the levels, that's per usual. And then obviously with the final dupe, at the start of the battle, the spirit pressure gauge fills. Yep. The ultimate's critical damage increases by 30% for each current stack of Red Lotus. Yep, so keep in mind, Red Lotuses we can stack 5 times. So that's 150%. That is 150% going towards Toshiro's critical damage. When spending stacks of Red Lotus, each stack consumed increases the damage of normal attack by 40% for 8 seconds. Yeah. So just when you thought, yeah, I've hit the enemy with a big ult, once those Red Lotuses are used and done, you get something back, and it's a 200% increase in your normal attack. So that's kind of where things are looking in terms of his dupes, and again, for the most part, it's all just damage. It's all just damage. I mean, if I can get the first 2 dupes, I'll be happy with that, because I'll gladly take the plus 18% and then the additional 20% and then obviously critical rate. Was that plus 32? Yeah, because then I mean, I would still put a little bit more crit rate into him, but then I can really go for the crit damage. But if I get that last dupe, Jesus Christ, we're gonna go all in. So let's let's go into the kit, see what we're working with. Okay, so first skill, again, just by using Toshiro alone, he will do 5 hits, does 215, you guys know the drill. And of course accumulating spiritual energy. Once you get to the point where you can activate the Ice Dragon, which is the enhanced version, again keeping up with a 5 hit, does 568% damage. He will also receive Ice Lotus based on the number of hits. Dodging or blocking does not reset the attack count. When the continuous attack is interrupted, the arrival of the Celestial's phenomenon status will be released in advance. And then of course going into the Bunkai status, Toshiro condenses icicles with which he can attack from a distance. So you guys, yeah, this is when he's kind of just spamming and just kind of keeping away. So again, 5 hits, 302 per damage. Each stacks 1 point of ice edge to himself. When the attack hits, he also receives Ice Lotus based on number of hits. Toshiro can perform normal attacks while moving. So that's his regular here. I'm pretty sure Ice Lotus is... No, Ice Lotus isn't. No, is it? No, I don't think it is. I thought it was going to be the freeze where you have to get 100 points, but I don't think that's what that is. I think that's in correlation to his passive, which we'll go over in just a second. Looking over his technique, Hell is Frozen. So Toshiro instantly creates a large amount of shattered ice, dealing 105 damage, again accumulating spiritual energy. Enemies hit by this combat skill are subjugated to 5 points of freeze value. There it is. Okay, after releasing this combat skill, an area of icicles will generate in front of him. The icicles will explode after 2.5 seconds, dealing 67% damage. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Oh wow, okay. To enemies in the area and applying 5 points of freeze value while accumulating spiritual energy. If you guys don't know what freeze value is, as he's adding freeze value, and as you guys can see, it does add points. Once the enemy has 100 points of freeze value, they will freeze. So that's why Rukia is very important to have around, so that way you can just kind of cut straight to it. Okay, so this is when the dragon is in place. Let's have a look. What's going on here? Guiding the ice dragon to dive and crash into the enemy in front of you, dealing 231% damage, applying 10 stacks of freeze value. When Toshiro will enter the arrival of the celestial phenomenon state, and his and his basic attacks in this state will be replaced by the ice dragon dance. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, yes, that's the Bunkai. Yeah, so Bunkai state, Toshiro flaps his ice wings, launches himself at the enemy, and unleashes a slash of extreme cold, dealing 257% damage, applying 10 points of freezing value. Toshiro will enter a invincible state, and you can click the block button to unleash a blocking attack. Oh, I didn't know that was an invincible state. So that's the counter attack that you can forcefully use once you've built it up. The crystals themselves, or I guess in this case it will be. I think it's the ice flows that we're building up actually. Because I think there's a total of 3, 6, 9. I want to say more than 12 we've got to build up, if I can remember correctly from the gameplay. Anyway, ultimate. Toshiro covers his body with condensed ice, enters the Bunkai state. Ice and flower burial. Toshiro guides the flow of extremely cold air to make countless ice flowers bloom above the enemy, dealing 1,104 damage and consuming all Ice Lotus points. Each Ice Lotus point consumed provides an additional 0.25 damage multiplier. After releasing this ability, the Bunkai state is activated. Ah, there it is. Okay, yeah, I knew it, because I know that with Red Lotus, again, we're getting some absurd numbers of buffingness. I think, if I can remember correctly, Ice Lotus was kind of like the lower version of it, but so that's something that we're just going to accumulate, and then at the end of it all, it kind of works out for the best in order to get that extra bit of damage. Okay. Counter attack, yeah, 500%. Oh, wow. Okay, 15 points of freeze value, so make sure you're countering. And then the Bunkai state, you get an extra 100%, but the freeze value stays the same. Okay, cool. Passives now, so Ice Lotus. When Toshiro uses a normal attack, Ice Dragon Dance, the normal attack technique, and the counter attack are charged upon reaching a certain charge level. One ice crystal can be obtained up to a maximum of 8. Oh, I thought it was 6. Oh, okay, right, we'll take that. The number of ice crystals will be displayed on the left side of the health value in the form of an ice. Oh, sorry, of a cross-shaped ice crystals. Ah, so I thought. When Toshiro uses his ultimate, all ice crystals are consumed. For each ice crystal consumed, the damage level is increased by 6. So there's that ice crystal building up. Oh, so I was right. Ice crystals and ice lotus are technically in correlation. Okay, that's fine. So we'll take that. So not only are we getting that 0.25, but we're also getting an additional 6% per ice crystals. That's fantastic. Alright, we'll like those. So, Blooming Red Lotus. Upon entering the Bunkai state, ice crystal grants 5% of the ultimate energy. Casting the ultimate within 20 seconds increases the ultimate damage by 45%. So as much as you want to stay in the Bunkai state, there's an incentive for you to kind of go into it, drop some heavy numbers with some additional damage being given. So 20 seconds though, you can really make that work, to be fair. Yeah, that's still pretty long in my opinion, but okay. Because Ichigo's is it? I don't think Ichigo's holification is 20 seconds. I think it's slightly less than that. I might be wrong, but hey ho. Without Lotus, Bunkai state. When Toshiro performs a basic attack while moving, he gains 1 layer of Red Lotus, up to a maximum of 5 layers. There it is. When Toshiro uses his ultimate, all the Red Lotus is consumed and spiritual damage dealt increases by 3% for each layer consumed. If 5 layers of Red Lotus are consumed, spiritual pressure stacks to a maximum immediately after the Bunkai state ends. So, yeah, 20 seconds is more than enough to gather that additional percentage to then make up for getting all the Red Lotuses. So overall, your damage. So yeah, at max, if you get that final dupe of his, Christ, that's going to be so much damage. Because as you're kind of preparing for all of that, you're also stacking up your ice crystals. Again, if you get the first dupe, that's +3 straight off the mat. God damn. And then Frostly, for every 1% of Toshiro's critical rate, the damage dealt by basic attack, Ice Dragon Dance increases by 1.12 up to a maximum of 45%. Wow, I see the correlation. Fair play, developers. That was sweet. That was nice. That was smooth. I'm not going to lie. That was pretty smooth. Okay, cool. I didn't even notice that at all. Alright, well... Oh, wait, we also have his weapon card and stamp card. So, I think that's his stamp card, right? Yeah, this is his weapon card. So... Oh yeah, it says it right here. So weapon engraving, so improves weapon attribute by 50%. So we get a critical rate increase of 30%. So there you go. There's that. On what we need. In the celestial appearance state, the damage received is reduced by 25%. In this state, the basic attack of Ice Dragon Dance will not be interrupted, and the damage will be increased by 50%. Huge. We like those. And then this should be the free stamp card. So this is the fact that this is a free stamp card is huge because the maximum amount of ice crystals increases to 12. Yeah. Each ice crystal increases the ultimate critical damage by additional 5%. Normal attack damage increases by 15% to the target subjugate to the freeze value. Hence why I say freeze is important. And they will also charge the ice crystal on impact. This is free, by the way. So if they keep this the same, this will be a massive W. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. So that is his full kit, if you guys wanted to know what he was capable of. Yeah, in all honesty, he looks extremely promising. I don't think for the most part they'll change anything, but in terms of everything that we can build up, looking more so into the enhanced state, because again, that is pretty consistent, his enhanced state, which I absolutely love, by the way. I will say that right now. And his Bankai state is going to be way more accessible and way more quicker, I would say, compared to Ichigo's, right? I don't know. I feel like that final dupe might make him do some absurd damage. I'm not even kidding you, boys, because I'm looking at everything that this Toshiro is doing in terms of building up, and this man is building up a lot. Now that we can get plus 12 ice crystals, there's a lot on the table. I'm not gonna lie, I'll be lying if I didn't say I might max him out, because my original goal wasn't to go crazy on Ichigo, but I went absolutely mental on him, 200% maxed. So yeah, Toshiro is looking very promising. So like I said, I made a video talking about how Toshiro or Ichigo, which one do you want to kind of prioritize. And again, if you've decided to re-roll for Ichigo, that would pretty much help you out tremendously in terms of you getting this Toshiro in such an easy manner and still being able to have a good amount of resources and summons saved up ready for later on, if you choose to save even furthermore on for another character that you're looking forward to. Because as it stands right now, looking at this Toshiro, he's going to be an amazing spirit DPS, and as of right now, that is recommended and highly essential and a must in my opinion.